Okay, so this is a Chapter 5 test. Should be a pretty quick and easy one, but take your time, double check your answers, make sure you're getting 100% on this, and if you don't get 100%, go to your quiz corrections. So for 1 and 2, it says write the ratio as a fraction in simplest form. Make sure you're writing it as a fraction, or you're going to get it wrong. For 3 and 4, find the unit rate. So the first one will be rotations per minute, and the second one will be ounces per serving. So write them as fractions, simplify the fraction, and get a 1 on the bottom because that's what a unit rate is. And for 5 and 6, tell whether the ratios form a proportion. Cross products work quickly and easily for each of those for a yes or no answer. For number 7, the table shows the rates for sending text messages. Are the rates proportional? So messages 45, 90, 135, cost $5, $10, $15. You could simplify each of those ratios to see if they each simplify to the same amount. Are they all the same unit rate? And for 8 and 9, use a graph to tell whether X and Y are in a proportional relationship. Now, if you printed off this test, you can graph it right on there. I've got graph paper also in the materials. Or you could just use the tables there and tell whether those are proportional. Maybe doing cross products throughout the whole table or simplifying each ratio to see if they simplify to the same thing. So lots of options for you. I'm sure you'll do fine on this one. So for 10 and 11, use the table to write a proportion. The answers, you have got a couple options, but on the test, on the answers, it'll be servings per calories equals servings per calories, and then minutes per miles equals minutes per miles. So your proportion is really going to look similar to these tables. For number 12, you can buy 6 stickers for $5, write a proportion. That gives you the cost C if you buy 21 stickers. So ideally, you'll find how much each sticker costs, and then you'll find out how much it would be for 21 stickers, or you could set up a proportion and solve for the unknown C. For all 4 of these, you're just finding the unknown. Lots of ways to do it, but remember these are just equivalent fractions. So good job. These will be easy. For these 2 problems, you're supposed to graph the line that passes through the 2 points, then find the slope of the line. Could you find the slope without actually graphing them? Of course, because it's the change in y, the second number of each coordinate, over the change in x, the first number in each coordinate. And remember, to find the change, you're doing a subtraction problem. Or you can graph these, and remember, the slope is rise over run. How much did it go up? Over how much did it go over? For these 3 problems, you have to tell whether x and y show direct variation and explain your reasoning. So when it says do they show direct variation, for number 19, remember direct variation also it just means it's proportional. So find out, are x and y proportional in that table right there? You could graph the points and see whether they go through the origin, or you can just simplify each of those ratios to see if they simplify to the same thing, or do cross products through the whole table. For 20 and 21, solve for y. And when you get y equals, and then whatever it equals, because you got y by itself, you're looking, does it fall into the form y equals kx, where k is just a number that is the coefficient for the x term. For number 22, your baseball team has won 10 games and lost 6 games. If the team does not lose any more games, how many games must the team win to have a win-loss ratio of 3-1? Explain your answer. So it already won 10 games. How many more games must it win, because it's not going to lose anymore, to have a 3-to-1 win-loss ratio. So you know you want it to equal 3-to-1. What does it have to be? How many wins over 6 to equal 3-to-1? Because you have 6 losses and you're not going to lose anymore. For number 23, it costs $135 for 20 people to attend dinner. How much does it cost for a group of 6 people? Easiest way to do this problem is to find the unit rate, how much money per one person, and then multiply that by 6. Make sure you remember to multiply it by 6 because that unit rate is probably something I'll put on there for a false answer. Okay, for number 24, the graph shows the distance you and your friend drive on a trip. Find the slope of each line. So, the slope of the U line, that's the dark line. Remember, it's rise over run. Also note that these are going up by 50. So you have to go up by 50 every time it goes up a line. Or you could do change in Y over change in X to find the slope of the U line. You also have to find the slope of the friend line, which is the lighter line. Same thing. Now they're not right on a line as far as going on the horizontal line. So change in Y, subtract the second numbers, over change in X, subtract the first numbers in the coordinates. Once you find that slope, and you should simplify it, it makes B a little easier. How much faster are you traveling per hour than your friend? So make sure you take those slopes for part A and put them each in the per hour, because then that way part B is way easier. It's just how much faster are you traveling per hour than your friend. And C, how far would you travel in 6 hours? Well, if you know how much you're traveling per hour, it should be easy to find out how far you would go in 6 hours. And remember, that's the U line that you're looking for the 6 hours. You can actually find that right from the graph. For the U line, go over to 6 hours and go up. Well, what is that in distance in miles? You can see the answer right from the graph. Well, that's it. After you do those, you'll be done with the test. I would go back and check my answers if I were you, because you want to get 100%, right? I knew you did.